Okay, let's see how we do here. Are the two triangles congruent? We're going to do 1 and 3 on the same video. If so, write a congruent statement. Well, let's take a look what we're dealing with. We have this theorem called the hypotenuse leg theorem, and this is what we are going to be considering in this video. Now, take a look at number 1. What do we have? We have the hypotenuse of this right triangle is congruent to the hypotenuse of this right triangle, and this leg of this right triangle is congruent to the leg of this right triangle. Never mind that they don't look quite like that, if you feel like they don't, because that's irrelevant. What they show that they measure is what really matters. So through the hypotenuse leg theorem, these two right triangles are congruent. Sweet. So now we need to just identify which parts are congruent to which parts. And I'm just going to draw little kind of arrows connecting them. We've got that angle right there, which is at the, I don't know, you want to call it the top side if this was the bottom of the triangles. And we've got these congruent here, and we've got this and that congruent. So if you kind of rotated this one this way by a little less than 90 degrees, you would see that they kind of line up better. So how do we write the congruent statement? Well, let's first name triangle ABC. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle what? Well, what aligns with A? D aligns with A, as you can see right there. So then what aligns with B? B and E are the right angles, so DE. And what aligns with C? We have F aligning with C. And it's really, I guess it's a bit of a skill for you to be able to visually rotate these triangles in your mind in order for them to kind of line up and see what's going on there. So anyway, that's the answer to number 1. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Now, take a look here. These number 3, these triangles, you can't rotate them into place, but you could flip one and rotate it, and then it would land on the other one. Now, what do we got here? We have this side is congruent, and this side also is congruent, and that would seem like we have hypotenuse leg, and then therefore we have congruence. What's the problem with that? Well, the problem with that is we really only call them legs and hypotenuse when they're right triangles. This hypotenuse leg theorem that we are referring to is a theorem that applies to right triangles. Do we know that these are right triangles? We do not. They don't tell us that. And although it appears that way, we can't assume anything by looking at it. Well, there's a few things that we can assume, such as these are vertical angles, or that these two angles sum to 180. Those are things we're allowed to assume from seeing it. That an angle is a right angle is not something we're allowed to assume. And so we can't say that we're dealing with right angles, right triangles, and so therefore we don't have any reason to be able to apply the hypotenuse leg theorem. So no congruence. And that's just the fact about that. So we're done.